cleanliness is next to godliness.
How about a kitchen?
What we got here? Let's have a look. Smooth now.
Have you ever met a god?
Not me.
How the f would you know?
You can't say that. No.
I hate cleaning.
Chill out, dude.
Okay, that's...
Right, but here's the thing. I hate mess even worse. And I know that's not a unique sentiment or a unique idea, like, oh, he hates cleaning. Who doesn't hate cleaning, right? But the thing is this. I find that my mind is constantly in this tug of war between depression and anxiety, right? Half of your mind is saying, don't do anything, give up on life. And the other half of your mind is constantly worried about what's about to happen and if it's going right and if it's going to go wrong, right? But the thing that happens, that with that tug of war,
People take me for a joke over here.
What the f is this?
it creates like a short-term, for me anyway, like a short-term OCD about things that really don't matter.
Hands in the air, vertically. Both arms should be parallel to each other. You, fill this bag with clean, unmarked bills. But first, fix that notepad so it's at a right angle with the corner of your desk. You know what? Forget about the money. Everybody grab a broom. We are straightening this place up.
Before I get into the whole thing of why I particularly hate cleaning, right? Like, cause like,
Who does?
who likes cleaning, right? Let me get rid of the shower thing.
Why the f does it feel like you're whipping me? Because your soul got tangled in a dirty Ow!
Now, the reason I had this thought is because I was sitting down the other day, right, and I was looking around me, and it just came to my mind that the more shit you buy, the more shit you have to clean.
It's fucked.
For most people, they know this, they're aware of this, right? But it doesn't stop them from purchasing more useless shit and just keeping clutter all over the house.
If there's one thing an evil spirit absolutely can't stand, it's a clean room. Now.
They never know my pants here run. You got dead no play sample.
As a kid, you growing up in a house with other people, right? Especially if you weren't the only child and you had both parents and all that kind of stuff. Now I know that's an ideal kind of Brady Bunch sounding thing, but it's not really, right? That comes with its own set of problems.
I'm gonna go check out the scenery. I saw a pretty girl come in, and I'm gonna try to work some of my magic. You know what you gonna do, make it disappear?
But that being said, I grew up with older parents, right? So they had this thing about kind of hoarding. They weren't like a modern family, quote unquote, and they didn't have a modern house with everything designed clean and minimalist, right? It was very traditional. Oh, keep that box because we might need it. Keep them screws and that shit because we might need to fix something. Keep this spare wood. All of this kind of random shit I grew up around, right? And it did serve a purpose to an extent because they were West Indian and they were quite poor, right? So they knew the value of things and reusable things.
When you're poor, your creativity excels. Like it really, really excels. I remember I wanted an action figure when I was 10 years old. I wanted an action figure so bad. My birthday came along. My dad hands me a box. I open it up. It's empty. He said, "It's Invisible Man." I played with that thing for like 3 weeks, man. So my brother hid it from me.
Like nowadays, what we call upcycling is basically your existence if you live anywhere in the West Indies or in Africa or anywhere third world. Upcycling is the life, right? That is your life, right? Not everybody's life, of course, because there's rich people everywhere you go. But the thing is, I grew up in a house where, like, it was a little bit hoardy, and I used to get angry about it. Like, I used to really get frustrated with my parents and my siblings. Like, why are we keeping this useless shit? Like, every time I want to find something, I can't find it because there's all this other shit.
Honey!
What?
Where's my super suit?
What?
Where is my super suit?
Put it away!
Part of that mess and part of that hoarding was always me, right? But you don't see it because you're like, you can't see you kind of thing. So when you move out and you start living on your own and you think to yourself, yes, like, I'm gonna have things perfect, right? I'm gonna do everything better than my parents, right? And then you get that reality check.
Fucking hell.
Well, actually, yeah, half of the shit that you have around you, you don't need, right? The other half of the shit that you have around you, you never use, right? So you just buy all of these random things and you're just collecting more and more mess. But the other thing about living on your own, you realize how much mess you make, right? You individually. Now, I know it sounds kind of raw, like, oh, I'm messy, like particularly, and I am particularly messy, right? And there's the creative lie, you know, like a creative mind can never keep things clean. Like if you go into a room that's spotless, right, the chances are nothing great is going to come out of that room. Now, if you go in a room that's a little bit chaotic, chances are, if they're creative, something great is going to come out of that room, right? But that's kind of the creative life.
Go away, Mo.
So going back to the thing I was saying about cleaning there, I really do hate cleaning. But my problem is, I procrastinate a lot. And now my procrastination is on like a very high level of procrastination, you know, like you to a point where you can forget to live kind of procrastination, waiting to the last minute and till it's too late kind of procrastination. But the thing is, after I have like, so
all your depression,
yeah, it's kind of hard talking about this, right? So
all your fucking anxiety.
if you've ever dealt with any mental health issues, right, you know you have up periods and you have down periods, right? Now during your down periods, you really don't realize your reality of how you're living and the things around you just more and more mess, because it's just psychological pressure, right? You don't actually see through the mist. You don't see yourself and you don't see your surroundings. So more and more problems start to build up and build up and build up.
All that
right?
shit that you see,
But
man.
then after you get to a certain point of all of that shit building up, your anxiety level starts to slowly creep up as well, because you're actually, like, your subconscious mind is seeing all the shit that's going on and adding up all your problems in the background and saying, actually, you need to do something, you need to do something, you need to do something, right?
All your panic
and then it
attacks.
becomes that tug of war between depression and anxiety. But every now and again, you get like a burst of inspiration to actually do something, right? And try to tackle the mess.
What the fuck is
So
this?
you do it, right? And it might be something as simple as just hoovering. Now, I hate cleaning, right? But funny side story, right? When I was a little kid, I hated cleaning too, right? But my mum used to do this thing where she would tell me and my sister, my older sister, you do the washing up, you do the hoovering, or you do the mopping and you do the whatever, right? And this one time happened, which I'm totally sorry about to my sister, right? I was gonna say your name, but I'm not gonna bait you up like that. I'm totally sorry about this, because I was just a kid, I didn't think about it. But one day my mum done that, right? And it was an argument about doing X or Y. One of the things was hoovering, right? But I can't remember what she said I had to do, but I hated that thing so much that I just wanted to hoover, right? And I hate hoovering as well. But me and my sister started arguing, and I got so angry that I took the hoover bowl and I hit it, right? Which I'm totally sorry about as an adult, it was out of line. But I was a little kid, like probably not even older than 5, right? But anyway, right, that was just a random thought. But just getting to that point of actually having your anxiety level rise so high that it sort of triggers an OCD kind of reaction in you, and you have to like manically go around and try and clean things, gets your mind in a place of, right, now I've just hoovered the floor is making me feel better. But then a little bit of time goes by and then you start noticing every little crumb of food, every little piece of hair, like you're like, what the fuck, did I just clean everything, right?
That's because
But it's
you're
only
eating
you.
fucking shit.
You know, when you think about Channel 4 obsessive compulsive cleaners, right? Yeah. People think OCD is just about cleaning and symmetry because of shows like that. But it's the intrusive thoughts that people have, like, if I don't clean this, my auntie might die, or if I don't clean this, something bad's gonna happen. That's OCD. It's the what if questions, it's the uncertainty, it's the doubt. It's otherwise known as the madness of doubt, or the doubt of madness, either one of those two. So yeah, I didn't believe that what I had in my wildest dreams could have ever been OCD.
Society encourages us to buy more and more shit, right? Which is consumerism. Now, I am not gonna be like a all political, because I don't actually have a real political ideology. I just take bits and pieces from whatever I find works for me. But not to be anti-capitalist, because I'm clearly not, right?
Their payment is the honor they'll feel to serve their... Wait, who's paying me to yell at this guy?
I can answer that. For money.
I never thought I'd live to see this. Gentlemen.
And I'm not really fully capitalist, because you have to reach a certain level of success where you can take advantage of everyone else to really call yourself a capitalist. But that being said, society has programmed us, and I think this started around the 1950s, right, or just after World War II, to be hyper consumers, right?
The beautiful work that this machine does on French fry potatoes. You slice down several slices, hold them together in this fashion, go back in the other direction, and you'll get perfect French fries.
So for like the housewives back then, well, to be fair, housewives never used to exist, right? Everybody used to work, from the children to the dog to your wife and to the man, right? Everybody worked, because we were still in survival mode back then.
Returning home, you begin to see a little clearer some of the things you might do on your own place. And you make your plans with your family. You have to start from where you are, with what you already have, and make your decisions in the way that suits your family best. And you know that if the young folks have a hand in making decisions, you can expect them to take a lot more interest in carrying out the plans. You don't farm alone. Your family farms with you.
So even though it was like, oh, she may not actually be working in a factory or at the post office or whatever, she was doing housework or farm work, field work, gardening, food, all of these kinds of things. It's work, right?
And what did girls feel was in store for them? A life just like their mothers.
Judy, it isn't as bad as all that, dear. Sorry, Mother. I was just thinking. About what? Oh, you know, thinking of how wash day used to be for you. Before you had the electric water heater and the washer.
Educational films like this one reflect society's belief that women could find fulfillment only as housewives and mothers. Even girls who were sent to college often majored in what were called the domestic sciences.
But when a man wants a kiss kid, he doesn't want a quiz kid. Oh, you can't get a man with your brains. Now, I sang that in 1957 with a sense of how true it was and how funny it was. Now, of course, it makes a shiver run up and down my spine.
They should actually pay women to be housewives, right? I don't know this is gonna upset my manosphere people and like the super red pillars and shit like that, but housework is work, right? Especially when you've got kids and you've got other adults living with you, making mess, just doing whatever the fuck they want, buying shit, leaving shit around.
Fucking hell.
Housework is work, right? If you live on your own, you realize how much shit you have to do, right? And your own mess that you have to keep going behind yourself, like your past self, fucking like you're like the ghost in Mario Kart. Just go behind yourself, fucking picking up the mess that you've made yourself. So yeah, at the point of the 1950s, they tried to create this lie or illusion of there being a housewife that doesn't ever have to work, which only exists for like the 1%. Even white people, black people, Asian people, it's only the 1% of them that have a wife that never has to do anything, right?
But you know, this film would be a waste of time for my missus.
Waste of time.
Yes, the customers haven't all got places like this, you know. Refrigerators and wash cupboards. You ought to show them how to do without it.
But it isn't in the script.
Now, we thought it wouldn't be, so me and the boys have organised it for you. Yes, sit over here a minute, and I'll show you where my wife does the job. That looks more like a real kitchen.
And that has its own problems that comes with it too. But this illusion was fed to the public that you could just be a stay-at-home wife and everything would be taken care of, right? Kind of like how WandaVision was when the season first starts, right? That like 1950s kind of home, everything spick and span. But what came with that was the advent of salesmanship now, and you've got all your Jim Bros and all those people, like there's older people in that, right? Prosperity preachers. That whole era of salesmanship, right? That's where it actually kicked off. It was a bit before that, 1920s and stuff like that too, but the 1950s is when it skyrocketed, right?
There are thousands of salesmen at work each day, most of them honest, conscientious, and offering reliable goods. The others, the high-pressure salesmen, are slick, persistent, and tricky.
Good morning, madam. Good morning. I'm afraid I don't want
You've been selected for a special introductory offer, madam. Using one of the many tricks to interest you, he'll keep talking, exaggerating. Using impressive figures and technical terms. Ask yourself, is it what you need? Do you know it's a reputable make? It's your money he's after. He may make you feel inferior. Mrs. Jones bought the more expensive model. Don't be caught. Think, is it worth the money? Can you afford it? He may say he can save you pounds per week. Make you a free gift to weaken your resistance. Don't feel you have to buy it. Examine the terms. Are they clear? Give yourself time to think it over.
Big companies realized what we want to do is sell these appliances or these inventions to housewives, right? And to people, of course, men included. There was all kinds of different inventions and shit sold. But it was just more and more and more and more, right? At first, the quality was good and it would last you long, and people realized, oh, if we sell you stuff that work too well, you'll never buy anything else, right? So quality starts to decrease, so you buy more quantity, right?
This is all fucking shit.
All of that is just ramping and ramping and ramping up as the years go by, as the decades go on. And it brings us to where we are today. A lot of useless stuff made very cheap that will break. It's cheap plastic, it's poor metals, it's chemicals, it's all kinds of shit, right? You name it. If you just look around in the room that you're in right now, you can spot at least 10 to 20 things that will not last the week or the month or the year, right? Because they're not made to last. That contributes to this whole constant bubbling anxiety in most of our minds, right? Under the surface anxiety of there's too much shit around me. Like, I don't want this stuff, but I kind of need it, or I think I need it, or I might want it later, I might need it later, right? So our cupboards are full of clothes we never wear, right? Our kitchen is full of utensils we never use. We get appliances as gifts and shit, and we're like, well, I don't make pancakes like that. You know, I barely even make toast. What do I need a toaster for, right? But from that 1950s era, they convinced every generation that you need these things, right? These are staples in your house, and if you don't have them, you're weird, right? So growing up, we didn't have a microwave, right? But all my other friends had microwaves, right? We didn't have a dishwasher, but all my other friends had a dishwasher, because like I said, that age gap thing is different. Immigrants and poverty, right? You don't have those luxuries, therefore you realize that's not a necessity, right? That's just a plus in life that you don't really need. But I say all that shit, right? That I'm not anti-capitalism at all.
You got the people on this world slaving away, making your power? I mean, that's what I call slavery.
No. They work for each other in exchange for money, which they then...
Well, that just sounds like slavery with extra steps.
Eek, Barbadurkle. Somebody's gonna get laid in college.
But all of that extra convincing people they need extra shit is slowly ruining our lives, right? And that joined with brain rot from the internet, we see shit temporarily piques our interest, so we want to purchase it, right? So it's easy. Click of a thumb and Amazon's at your door within the next 24 hours with that useless product you just saw, right? Or Temu or whoever, right? So now you've got trades and shelves full of books half read. You've got bathroom utensils and care products and beauty products that you never fucking use, or you've half used and you don't want to use them no more, but you don't want to throw them away because you might need them. All of this shit is just building up around you, right? And it's contributing to mental fog, and it makes it hard for you to actually see reality for what it is. Now, I struggle with this heavy, right? Like I just said, right? With my bouts of depression and anxiety, it can get extreme and then it can be quite mellow at times, right? But it upsets me, right, when I go around in my own place and I just look at furniture and I'm like, why do I have that, right? And it just gathers dust, right? And I have a desk and I'll clean it, and then before you know it, it's just full of shit. Like, and of course your external world is a reflection of your internal world. So like I just said, that kind of manicness can actually spill out into your actual reality. So you've got to kind of keep mind of that. But it's hard, right? And it's not, I know it's not a thing that only happens to me, right? This is something other people struggle with as well, right? And I haven't found a solution for it, because before I moved out, I had this like vision in my mind of how I wanted my place to be, and I was looking in all of these like, not like Reddit, like Pinterest stuff, and like just the ideal home setup, like just sleek, modern, no extra shit. Like I really do want that, right? But I still have more shit than I need, right? But I don't want to just throw them away, which I'm actually challenging myself, and I'll challenge you to as well. Get rid of as much shit as you can, right? Things you don't need. As I look around, I'm just distracted by the mess that's actually on my desk right now, and I'm thinking, actually, I might need that later. But it's that thing that's ingrained into you from your parents and your upbringing and all of that shit.
We were so poor we couldn't afford feelings. Yeah.
So I could give you 2 times where cleaning really pissed me off, right? One time was when I was just getting into the work world. I was working in like a shop, it's a big chain, but it's just like a normal shop you find in towns, villages, and cities, right? It's first job ladder kind of shit. But when I started the job, I was like, oh, I just have to do customer service, do till shit, right? And then then I found out, oh, I have to move shit around on the aisles, right? Then I found out, oh, you have to clean the stock room in the back, and oh, if you're here at night, you have to fucking mop and sweep and dust all this shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean, right? Like, of course I'm a kid, and I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
The fuck
all
up.
These other adults that work here before me, right? And this also comes into the taking advantage of the young and the ethnic, right? Because that is a thing society does a lot. They take advantage of the young and the ethnic. That's why this country has like a kind of, ooh, we don't want immigrants thing. But then when you actually like peel it back a little bit more, they're like, oh, actually we want NHS. Oh, actually we want like all these other fucking services we actually need. It's just purely immigrants, right? But anyway,
in bold,
all these older people work in the shop as well, right? And I'm just starting, and I look around and I see the fucking dust collection on all of these items we're supposed to sell. I see the grime and the mold. Do you know what? The one thing that pissed me off, like this is part of that. Hating cleaning, but hating mess, right? The stock room used to have 1 toilet in it, right? And these are just, I'm not gonna bait out their race, right? But you could add two and two together, right? And I don't mean to be like racist, but
Me father.
fuck that, alright.
I don't see the respect where I'm due.
Because you might actually mistake what race we're talking about, right? So this is in a village, right? And it's just pure white people. The white people run the shop and they run the area, right? So the stockroom has 1 toilet, right? And every time you open that fucking stockroom, where all the shit is that they sell to you, all you can smell is arse crack, right? And like, when I first started, I thought, what the fuck is this, right? And then I realized what it was after that, right? But anyway, it was just, they have shit in such a disgusting fashion, then they want to tell you as an employee that you should be cleaning their fucking corporate mess, which they got money to hire cleaners for, right? You see the money they make. You can buy a corner shop franchise for about 10 grand, right? And just roll over with your stock purchases. A lot of people don't know that, right? They think their fucking shops cost a lot of money and that. They don't. Shops make a lot of fucking money, right? Some lose money, but it all depends on your location. Anyway, that was my second one that pissed me off, right? And the third one is when I got a bit older, right? And I started working for a corporate place that had like a fleet of vehicles. Now, they did not give a flying fuck about their workers, right? The inside of the vehicles were disgusting and disgraceful, but what they were concerned with was their nice little fucking logo on the outside of the vehicle. So they wanted everyone to wash the vans, right? Don't fucking washing your van, like, why am I washing your van, bruv? It's a work van, right? Fuck off. If anything needs to be clean, is the bit where I am, right? It's on the road every fucking day. Of course it's gonna get dirty, right? And if you want it cleaned, hire some cleaners.
What's Boris doing? Boris, what are you doing here?
Fuck you!
Don't take the piss, Boris.
That's that corporate bullshit, like.
Wake the fuck up.
This is gonna sound a bit dread. I also hate the idea of corporate charity, not in the fact that the actual corporation donates money to good causes. No, the corporation likes to trick the customer into pretending that they donate to good causes.
That's what they want you to see.
Right, so you go in a shop like fucking Poundland and you do your shopping and you probably spend half your fucking wages on the inflated items that you're buying.
And I'm trying to make my money worth.
And you get to the till and then it'll say donate. So why didn't you fucking donate? I've just given you my wages. Why didn't you donate, right? You're making all of these billions and billions of pounds. Why didn't you donate? You want me to donate, right? And side tangent, right? Because it's already a side tangent of a side tangent of a side tangent, right? I had a shout out for, of course.
Small brown seeds are a naturally occurring source of the world's most widely consumed central nervous system stimulant, caffeine. While most brain-altering substances are outlawed or at least tightly controlled by the government, this entirely legal psychoactive drug is enjoyed by basically every person you know on a daily basis, completely unrestricted and with zero cultural stigma.
The idea that you can, quote unquote, feel like you're doing good for society by going to a coffee shop, right, and buying your coffee and donating when you buy your coffee, right, to a charity, or quote unquote, is this thing that Zizek talks about. It's called surplus enjoyment, which basically just says society has got to a level where everything is so easy that you think you can do good by just purchasing in, like you're just buying in to do good, right? When really and truly, you're not doing any help anywhere, right?
Why are you talking like that?
Why are you talking like that?
Because this is my voice?
This is my voice.
No, it's not. I heard you talking a minute ago. I know you don't talk like that.
Neither do you, because nobody actually talks like this. You choose to talk like this, and today I chose to talk like this. Pretty fucking annoying, isn't it?
Why are you so rude, man?
Just stop doing that.
I can't help it. It's my voice.
No, it's not. It's an affectation that annoying teenagers and rich people use to sound like they don't give a shit. Except you work in a coffee shop, so I know you're not rich, and you don't look like a teenager.
Excuse me. Some of us would like to order.
Fuck everybody.
We don't go there. We're not doing that today, right? I don't even know why I started this conversation.
Trust me on this one. You don't want to know. Audrey, don't tell him. You shouldn't have told me, but you did. And now I'm telling you, you don't want to know.
Anyway, yes, I hate cleaning, right? But then there's this thing where people go, oh, cleanliness is next to godliness. Have you ever met a god? How the fuck would you know, right? Do you know what I'm saying, right? Earth is literally dirt, right? Think about this, right? When you see mud on Earth, that's dirt. That is decay. That means the planet Earth itself didn't know what to do with the shit that was on it, so it just rotted down into dirt, right? The world is designed as a mess. If you go out into nature and you look at nature, nature is not organized. It's chaos, but it just looks organized because we try to understand it and categorize it with our human minds, right? But that's the thing. There's always going to be mess. There's always going to be more mess, right? One time I used to work for a company that installs appliances like kitchen stuff and electricals and shit like that. And I used to have to go to these houses that would just be, some would be beautiful, rich people, but some would be like terrible, terrible downtrodden places, right? And like some of the hoarding places I went to, oh my God, man. It further deepened my like psychological angst with the OCD shit. Because humans should not have to or be living like that, right? Children should be raised in places like that, yet they are. So that really fucked with my psyche a lot, especially made me look at how I live and how I don't want to end up like that.
Huh? You all right, Serizawa? You don't look so good.
That hit way too close to home. I mean, I'm in the same boat. I'm 30 years old and I haven't got anything to show for my life either.
You won't make it in this business if you let the clients get to you like this. And you're too young for a midlife crisis. If you're regretting the path your life has taken up to now, then be grateful you realized it so early. Right, Mob? Tell him.
Actually, I'm feeling the same way he is.
Seriously?
But funny story from that one of those places, right, is this place was just fucking disgusting, right? But I had to install remove a washing machine and install a washing machine, right? And I did most of it on my fucking own because the other guy was being an arsehole. You know when you disconnect washing machines and all that, you get dirty water in one of the pipes because it's like a drainage, right? So I did it and I was getting it out, right? And that fucking water splashed on me, bro. Hey! I was angry like I've never been angry before, right?
Give him a chance.
Of course, I hate cleaning, right? But every now and again, you get that inspiration to do like a spring cleaning or a deep cleaning, right? Where you get that urge to move furniture around, like really scrub the places you hardly get to, right? You dust down your windows and shit like that. And it just reminds me of those times where I was a kid, right? And I used to watch my mum have that same little sporadic thing, because you don't really realise that your parents are humans too until you become an adult and you realise, oh, they was probably going through something that made them want to be like this, right? But you remember those times, right? Especially if you're like a West Indian or like, I don't know, just if you're black.
You know, black people. No,
because I don't really know what white people live like. I only see what white people do on TV, right? And of course when I'm gang stalking you.
You have a shadow and it's flat. It's 2 dimensions.
Right.
But your body is 3-dimensional. But your body in 3 dimensions is a shadow of a 4th-dimensional creature.
You weren't supposed to figure that out. I'll go get the amnestics.
There'd be those times, right? Sometimes it'd be on a Sunday, Saturday morning. It could just be on a random afternoon after school, right? But you come in, right? Or you'll get woken up and your mum's dropping some tunes like proper loud. She might be playing old school reggae or like lovers rock shit like Beres Hammond, or she'd be playing like soul music like Al Green and stuff like that. And it'd just be like, we're gonna clean everything, right? This is your job, you need to do this, you need to do that. And like that feeling of clearing the space, right? Dusting things down and renewing the energy in the house is a great feeling, right? Even though I hate cleaning, the feeling you get after the work is done, right, is nothing beats that, because it does bring back that clarity of mind and that ease, like I can breathe now, like my anxiety is dropped down a level or two because everything is in order. But in reality, most of the time what you do when you just do your normal clean, you just move things from here to there, right? And in your mind you're like, yeah, I did a good job, right? But really and truly you didn't. You didn't get rid of much of the shit that's there, you just moved it from place to place, right? But that being said, right, them times where you do like, and like, I don't know, if you guys ever like lived in houses and stuff like that, the same kind of thing would happen with gardening, right? So there'd be like a certain time in the year where everything's just reached to a point where it's a mess, stuff needs to be cut down, garden equipment and shit like that needs to be rearranged, and like just flowers get planted and shit like that. So there'll always be that time in the year where that, like, the energy has reached all-time high and anxiety, and depression is not beating it back enough, right? So you just go out there and you fix it up and you make it look nice, right? And then you feel good. So I just want to challenge you guys to try and do that in life with whatever you can, even if it's people, even if it's your algorithm, because my algorithm is really shitty at the moment, right? And I know it's because of it's a reflection of my mind, what I'm clicking on and what I'm not clicking on, right? All of these things, and I don't mean to be all Jordan Peterson about it, right? Clean your room kind of shit, because it doesn't solve all your problems. It's not even close to solving your problems, right? But it does bring that anxiety down, right? And it helps you cope with the reality you live in. Now, like I'm saying, the more stuff you get rid of, the better. If you can, right, which I challenge you to do, right, get rid of as much shit as you possibly can that you don't need. Try to keep the essentials, and try and even keep your essentials in your diet and the way you eat when you eat out. I make it my duty to never have food waste, hence I never have smelly bins unless I have like packaging. Even packaging I'll wash out first, right?
It doesn't matter if you spend 1,000 berries or 1,000,000. You should never waste even a single scrap of food. It is our duty as cooks to utilize every bit of our ingredients with love and skill. Just like loving everything about a lady.
You need something? Yeah, I need you to finish your food. All of it.
We can do better, but at the same time, as humans, you gotta remember, the earth is just as fucked as we are, right? The earth is trying to kill us all the time, and like I said earlier, everything you see around you, what you plant your flowers in, that life grows out of, is dirt, it's mess, right? It's uncontrollable chaos of the universe. But as humans, we're just trying to find some way to calm that storm, right? And psychologically, we try to do that as well. So, although I hate cleaning with a passion, I hate being in mess and squalor even more, right? And like that quote said about cleanliness is next to godliness, I've never met a god, but I've met humans. So, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just think about that and just try it, right? I know it's hard, I know it's very difficult if you're, especially if you're not in a good mental place. Just try, first of all, dusting something down, right? Or opening the windows, let some sunlight in, right? Changing your bed covers, right? Anything easy you can do that just makes it one less thing on your anxiety building up behind like your eyes. Anxiety building. No, but you know what I mean? Like there's all these, even though you're not consciously acknowledging that all these problems are building up around you, subconsciously you are. You're like, that's out of place, that shouldn't be there, it needs to be washed, that needs to be thrown away. All these things are happening behind the scenes in your mind, right? But you're like, depression is blinding you to all of that shit.